real good feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you spit. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Right now, 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 right now. Got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling, like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling, like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, 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 right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling, like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling, like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing some major news coming straight out of Tesla. Breaking 5 hours ago, Elon Musk has announced that Tesla will now be accepting Bitcoin payments for Tesla vehicles, and they're going to be holding on to that Bitcoin. We're also going to be talking about in this video what to do when you get bored of Bitcoin, and we're going to be breaking down some of the core concepts that cryptocurrency millionaires master whenever they want to become successful in cryptocurrency. I'm your host, Jebb. You know who I am. Welcoming our co-host, Tim.
What's
How are
up,
you doing?
everybody?
Non-Crypto Tim is in the house,
In the
guys.
house.
Drop some love for Crypto Tim. Non-Crypto Tim. You're turning into Crypto Tim. You're getting there.
Yeah, every single day is another step in the right direction, I think.
He's turning into Crypto Tim. Drop a 1 in chat if you want to see non-Crypto Tim turn into Crypto Tim. He's getting there. We're also joined by our producer, Smay.
Hello.
How are you doing, Smay? Would you like to show them what you have in your coffee mug?
Yes. I have my Funko Pop.
This video is sponsored by Luna Lovegood. Life is more fun when
Great
you're
character,
crazy.
great character. Yeah.
Guys, we need to go over Guys, we need to go over our price predictions for yesterday, and I'm quite excited to do so. Tim, would you like to kick us off?
Excited? Oh gosh, I'm not excited. Well, you know, I've taken some L's in the last couple days. This one, I wasn't completely obliterated, but I was wrong still. Jebb is stupid close. In case you guys were on the show or were not on the show yesterday, Bitcoin was sitting at 55,271.64 cents when we made this prediction for 9:30. At the moment, it is sitting at well, let me make sure this is updated because that might have been a little swing. Because I'm looking at 57,104. I still think you're winning, but that's a lot closer. Oh, okay, you're at 56. All right, so Jebb was at 56,946.13 cents. So that was very close. When we were looking at this morning, it was stupid close. Like I think at one point you were within like $20.
Yeah. Well, we passed it, so at one point I was exactly correct because we passed it.
So good job, Jebb. Congratulations on the win. I wasn't too far off with $58,473.28. So if you are Team Tim, guess what, guys? We are getting close. I'm trying to get you guys money. Bitcoin just needs to cooperate. Team Smay was about way off with $53,365. But then Team Zach was a little closer with 54,000. Overall, though, Team Jebb, good win. Team Tim, we were close, and we're gonna pull out the dub here very, very soon.
You know what someone said in
can't win
chat,
them all.
Tim? They said non-Crypto Tim will become Crypto Tim by going through CT2A.
Amen. Amen. I agree. It's coming. Get ready for it.
Tim is going to start going through the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy because we're all about education here. We're going to be talking about these books here in a second. We firmly believe that when you invest in yourself, you're investing in your future, and that is the way you become successful in cryptocurrency. Guys, even before we get into the content, this is not the point of this stream. We're going to go into other stuff. You've probably already heard about this, but I do want to break this down really briefly because this is a big deal. Elon Musk just announced literally, I'm just going to say it, the biggest adoption news story in the history of Bitcoin. Mic drop. I'm dead freaking serious. This is the biggest adoption news story cryptocurrency has ever seen. I don't play the whole clickbait. I'm serious. I am dead serious. Let me show you his Twitter. Let me grab @Elon Musk, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and jump straight on over, guys. Elon Musk just announced something this morning, only 6 hours ago, and pinned it to his Twitter. You can now buy Tesla with Bitcoin. Guys, we're going to be talking about in today's video the way that people become successful in cryptocurrency trading is that even when they're bored with Bitcoin because nothing seems to be happening, they understand the concept of delayed gratification. They look to the future. They dream about where they want to go. And this, my friends, is the fulfillment of all the dreams that we've had about mass adoption on Bitcoin for the last 12 years. One of the most valuable companies on planet Earth just formally adopted Bitcoin. Drop some exclamation marks in chat. I want to see a bunch of them. This is a big, big deal. Guys, I mean, I've already made my point. You can go somewhere else and figure out more about this. Go look at his Twitter. It's great. This is a huge deal.
No, what's even more interesting than that is not only are they accepting, which I think I think most people saw that coming.
Yes.
What's even bigger is them announcing that not only are they accepting Bitcoin, but they don't have plans to turn that Bitcoin into fiat or to turn it into anything else. They're going to continue to hold that Bitcoin.
Exactly. And
that's pretty big.
Tesla is using only internal and open source softwares and operates Bitcoin nodes directly. Bitcoin paid to Tesla will be retained as Bitcoin, not converted to fiat currency. Pay by Bitcoin capability available outside the United States later this year. Guys, this is a huge deal. So we've already made that point. We're going to go ahead and move on. I want to show you Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. I'm going to give you my takes on those markets, and then we'll move on to some more technical analysis later on in the video. So let's go ahead and jump straight on to the chart. Let's jump on over to Bitcoin and see what's going on. Guys, I'm just going to tell you my stance on Bitcoin because we're going to do price predictions on Bitcoin a little bit later. Remember, guys, price predictions are for fun. Sometimes we're correct, sometimes we're not. We do try, especially I do try and put real, proper technical analysis into my predictions. But at the end of the day, the point of it is to have fun. So shout out to everybody who's made predictions. Shout out to all the people that have been right. Shout out to everybody who's on Team Jebb, by the way. As far as where I think Bitcoin is going, guys, this is what I think. I see this downtrend right here on Bitcoin constituted by this high right here and by this high right here. Bitcoin has gone into an inverse head and shoulders pattern like this. We're on a strong rally. And by the way, we just saw a massive fundamental development. Whenever you see major fundamental developments, the technical analysis takes a bit of a backseat. Tim made a good point a little bit ago. Normally, when my predictions are correct in this whole price prediction thing, it's normally when the technical analysis is reigning supreme. Whenever fundamentals come in and something changes, that's normally when Tim comes in or when Smay comes in because Tim's normally very optimistic. Smay's normally a little more pessimistic. When good fundamental news comes in, Tim ends up being correct. When Smay ends up being correct, it's normally because some bad news has come out. When the technicals come in, that's normally when I'm becoming the most accurate. And what I want to make the point of here is that we want to be very optimistic in our technical analysis right now. Technical analysis is beholden to the fundamentals when the fundamentals are doing something big. So when we see a tweet like this coming out of Elon Musk, we need to keep that in mind with our technical analysis. So looking for levels of resistance right now around $58,000 to $58,400 on Bitcoin is huge. Remember, that's this downtrend here on the hourly chart. In this flat level of resistance at $58,400, I have a strong feeling that we will be somewhere between $58,000 and $60,000 this time tomorrow, if not a lot higher. So that's where I think Bitcoin is going. Moving on to Ethereum, I want to show you guys where I think Ethereum is going because I really think this news out of this news out of Elon Musk may have just shaken up the entire table. The entire market might be about to reverse because of this. Guys, like I said, I am not trying to clickbait you. I am being dead freaking serious when I say this is the biggest adoption story in the history of Bitcoin. Ethereum has just broken $1,735. This is a big deal. Why? Because Ethereum pulled back set a triple bottom down here at 1672. A lot of times I would be concerned about Ethereum dropping here. And if you watched our stream yesterday, I was concerned about Ethereum dropping a couple $100. I even said in the previous stream, I think Ethereum's going to drop down to the $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 region and fall below support. The fundamental news of Elon Musk and Tesla adopting Bitcoin changes all of that. Ethereum has now gone into a rally, and we have 3 consecutive higher highs. Ethereum could very well be on its way all the way back to $2,000 now because of this fundamental move. Remember, Ethereum moves very much with Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin's doing well, Ethereum's going to follow. So that's my take on Ethereum. Moving on really quickly, I want to show you Cardano because I honestly think something similar may happen to Cardano. Since Cardano isn't number 2, it's number 3, 4, 5, somewhere down there. Cardano isn't going to have quite as much price correlation with Bitcoin, but if the whole cryptocurrency market is doing well, Cardano will too. We needn't forget that Cardano just got listed on Coinbase. That's a big fundamental development that happened less than a week ago now. Actually, I think it was exactly a week ago. I think that news was announced last Wednesday. Anyway, Cardano has resistance sitting at around $1.17, and I would not be surprised at all if sometime later on today we see a break above this. We can see reasons for that coming out of the MACD. The MACD is bullish on the hourly chart. MACD is bullish down on the 4-hourly chart and having a bullish cross. By the way, I didn't show you this on the other charts because I really just want to make my point, and I can explain it if you guys want me to. Every single one of the charts I just showed you, Bitcoin over US dollars, Ethereum over US dollars, and now ADA over US dollars, every one of them just had a bullish cross on MACD on their 4-hourly chart. If you look back in the history, that normally indicates a couple of day uptrends. We should be seeing a few day uptrend at least coming out of the major cryptocurrency. So you want my opinion on cryptocurrency markets? I think all 3 of them are about to do something very similar. I think all 3 of them are probably about to see 5 to 10% price appreciation. I think all 3 of those major coins are going to rally over the next couple of days as Bitcoin really starts to internalize this massive adoption story that we now see coming out of Tesla. Tim, what's your take on that? Where do you think we're going, buddy?
Well, in terms of those coins, we still need to see the full ramifications of that. Like you said, though, that has potential to be one of the largest stories of the year, one of the largest fundamental breakdowns of what's going to happen in the crypto world over this next year. But for all we know, we're not really sure. There's just so much, as we've been talking about the last couple shows, there is so much that is kind of funneling to potentially a massive breakout here in April. Because what we have is we just had stimulus checks come out. We just, people are just now getting their tax returns back. People are coming out of this phase of being a little hesitant. We have to balance that with this whole news with the 10-year Treasury yields rising up. Yep. But what's even more important is I think things like this piece of news helps that education question. Because right now, one of Bitcoin/cryptocurrency's biggest issues is the lack of education, which is one of the things that not only things like this want to accomplish. This channel on this show, this is what we want to accomplish, is help educate people on not only what Bitcoin is, but why it should be so utilized. Because if people actually knew that, then it would actually be exploding this very second. We wouldn't be waiting. That being said, though, the other piece of news I totally forgot was this podcast probably coming out in the next couple of weeks from Joe Rogan talking about Bitcoin. When you combine all of those things and you look at the technical analysis and you look at what is happening there, I think this is spelling out a very massive bull trend in an already happening bull market that's going to be very, very beneficial. So go ahead and buy now.
Absolutely, guys. So I want to start off the main segment of this stream with one question. And this is not a rhetorical question. This is a literal question. Tell us in chat, why do you get out of bed in the morning? You might be like, Jebb, curveball, where did that come from? I promise by the end of this, you're going to appreciate what we're saying. Why do you get out of bed in the morning? This book right here, we're going to get into this. The reason you get out of bed in the morning, let's start with Elon Musk. Why does Elon Musk get out of bed in the morning? Tell us, number one, put a 1 period, I get out of bed in the morning because X. Then I want you to put a 2 period, Elon Musk gets out of bed in the morning because of X. Why does Elon Musk get out of bed in the morning? The reason Elon Musk gets out of bed in the morning is because he wants to change the world. Say that again. Elon Musk wants to change the world. He has a passion. He has a drive and a hunger and an urgency because he wants to see things change. He wants to see humanity become a multiplanetary species in case something happens to the Earth. That's why he launched SpaceX. SpaceX is built on the reason Elon Musk gets out of bed in the morning is that he wants to see the world be a better place. He wants to see humanity flourish. Why does Tesla exist? Because Tesla wants to see humanity move towards renewable resources as energy to preserve the earth for future generations. That's why Tesla exists. And by the way, that is why you love Tesla, is because Tesla is very adamant about one thing. They know why they're in existence. Why do people love Martin Luther King Jr.? They love Martin Luther King Jr. because Martin Luther King believed in something, because he had a passion about something. He had a passion for civil rights. He had a passion for seeing everybody treated equally. Why did people follow John F. Kennedy? Because John F. Kennedy had a passion for serving others. That's why he asked the country, don't ask what can your country do for you, what can you do for your country? He had a passion. So you see, behind every great leader is a great why. Bill Gates. Why did Bill Gates do what he did? Because Bill Gates believed that desktop computers on every single desk could liberate the everyman to build the future that they've always thought about. Every great leader began with the reason that they did it. So I ask you the question, why do you get out of bed in the morning? I'll give you a glimpse as to why I get out of bed in the morning. Number one, I am hell-bent on being the best I possibly can be. I'm really curious. How much money can I make? How big of an impact can I make? How big can we grow this YouTube channel? How many lives can I change? How well can I master my craft? That's one of the reasons I get out of bed. Another reason I get out of bed is because I want to see the world change. I don't like the way the educational system works in this country. I don't like the way the educational system works in this world. We've gotten to the point where we teach people we've taught people what to think. We've taught people what A plus minus B squared, the Pythagorean theory. I don't remember what it is. It has no application. We've taught people to know what the water cycle is, but we haven't taught people why it's important. We have taught people what to think, but not how to think. So to wrap this all up in a bow, the reason Tesla bought Bitcoin is because when Elon Musk wants to see the world be a better place through innovation, he sees the same why in Bitcoin. Bitcoin wants to see the world become a better place through innovation. Bitcoin set out, Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin to create a currency that would allow society to continue with the prosperity that we've seen over the last 200 years by instilling limited supply in our currency. So it makes sense that Tesla bought Bitcoin because they're both in the same game. They want to use technological innovation to change the world for the better. That's why Tesla exists. That's why Bitcoin exists. The greats in history, the great people, the great leaders, the great businesses, the great nations have core foundational beliefs. What are your core foundational beliefs? Why are you in cryptocurrency? And that is the topic of this stream. And that's why one of the takeaways I want from this stream is I want you to go out and I want you to buy this book. This book is called Start With Why. It's by a man named Simon Sinek. Some of you guys already noticed this book. It's a fantastic book, cover to cover. Read it once a year. Download everything here into your mind. Someone was like doing the whole vomiting emoji about reading yesterday. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but if you want to be successful, you've got to get serious about education. Tim, what do you think about all this? Can you give everybody a little bit of a glimpse into what our planning meeting looked like this morning as we broke down these concepts? And then we're going to start off by, let's talk about why we do what we do. Maybe you can give some insight on why you do what you do.
I was going to say, this planning meeting this morning, we potentially could have planned it a 4-hour show.
Yes,
with
seriously.
the amount of information. At the end of the day, what I think I want you guys as listeners to take away and understand about how we are thinking, about what Jebb is thinking, about what our company is operating in, and what we want to accomplish. We see way too many people operating based off of other people's thoughts and other people's passions and other people's whys, which is a great starting point. If you're not really sure what your why is, then you definitely need to listen to other people. But at a certain point, every single person here, this story about what Elon Musk is doing is great. However, what's more important, and I think you would agree to you, is what are you going to do about it? But the problem is if you do not have education on what is happening, and that is the real problem right now in the crypto community, is even the people involved, and I'm not necessarily talking about listeners to this stream, but even that, like, Jebb is continuing every single day to educate himself. I'm continuing every single day to educate myself. Smay is educating himself. We want you guys to never lose that curiosity and that hunger to grow. Never satisfy yourself just because someone else said something, but actually go out and learn what your why is, and then use that to fuel your ability to continue to learn. That's what this channel is all about. It is not about just giving you information, but it's about helping you understand how to find that information yourself so that you can set yourself up for success. Someone said in chat, like, hey, we don't really know. Don't trust Elon Musk. I don't know. I don't know if you can trust Elon Musk or not. The truth is, it's better if you just go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to trust myself. And I might utilize information from Elon Musk, and I might utilize the fundamentals, but ultimately, my success is tied to me and no one else.
Absolutely, guys. And look, I want to tell you my story real quick. Some of you guys who have been here for a long time know my background. I didn't grow up with a lot of wealth. And I'm just going to be straight up and honest with you guys. What we're talking about, we know what we're talking about. This is a multi-million-dollar business we run. We have 9 employees here. This is a very fast-growing tech startup. And the reason is because we have internalized and understood the concepts of continuing education. I started this company, not just this channel, this entire company and everything we're doing in the background. There are some big launches coming later on this year. Get hyped about that. You'll hear more about that coming in the future. The reason I started this company is because I didn't grow up with a lot of wealth. I saw a lot of pain and I saw a lot of suffering. Why? Because I saw my father not having access to the finances that he needed so that he could live a peaceful life. I saw stress. I saw pain. I saw sorrow. But you know what else I saw? I saw a way to fix that. And the way that I found that I could fix that was by making myself a better version of myself and by investing in my education on cryptocurrency. Look, guys, we want to preach about cryptocurrency. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin a lot in this stream, but I just want you to know it's not Bitcoin that'll make you rich. It is the way you look at Bitcoin that'll make you rich. I got into cryptocurrency because I wanted to do something good for my father. And this is the point I'm going to make here. Passion comes from clarity of why. And that's what this book goes over. And that's why you should read Start With Why. Passion is the fuel that drives a car. It's the gasoline in the car. It's the gasoline in the gas tank. If you run out of gasoline, your car's going to stop moving. If you run out of jet fuel, your plane's going to fall out of the air. If you run out of food, you're going to stop being able to run marathons and do workouts. You need passion. How many people do you know that go and sit behind a desk and push a pencil for 8 hours and then they go home and they watch television and they do that for 30 or 40 years? Is that the life you want? No. Everybody wants to have a passionate life. Everybody wants to get fired up in the morning. How many CEOs have I sat in the same room with, around the same table with, and I see them with tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're thinking, gosh, I have riches, but I don't have wealth. I have money, but I don't have success. And the reason is because they forgot why they got in the game in the first place. I never want to forget why I started getting involved in cryptocurrency. It's because I wanted to help my dad. I wanted to help someone. So I ask you the question, why did you get into cryptocurrency? I'm very clear on why I did. Why did you? Because if you want to be successful in cryptocurrency, you need to have passion, and that passion comes from being crystal clear on why you do what you do. The number one most important question anyone will ever ask themselves is, do I follow this guy? The second most important question you will ever ask yourself is this: why do I get out of bed in the morning? If you don't know the answer to that, you are not going to go the places that you want to go. Answer that question, you unlock whatever future you want. You can go anywhere you want. It's held behind one door, and the key is this: asking yourself the question and getting really serious about, why do I do what I do? Here's how you find out if you have the right answer, by the way, because you might answer it and you might be wrong. The correct answer should fire you up. You should be passionate about it. If your answer is because I want to make $100 billion and you're passionate about that, that's your why. If it's because you want to change the world, that's your why. If it's because you want a Lambo, that's your why. My point is, you got to be passionate. So that's our first point. When you get bored about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, think about why you got into the space in the first place, because that is going to be the thing that keeps you here and keeps you studying the cryptocurrency markets even when Bitcoin doesn't seem to be doing anything. Right now, Bitcoin is thankfully rallying thanks to this Tesla news, but things have been boring for the last couple of weeks. The way that we've been passionate about crypto the whole time is because we understand why we're here, because we have a dream about where Bitcoin's going to go. So that's our first point. Understand your why and keep your head in the clouds, guys. It's really fun. The second point we want to make is that facts are important. And Tim, this is kind of your topic, so I'm going to throw this back to you. You want to tell people why facts are important and why understanding your why isn't the only thing that people need to know?
Yes. Well, so first of all, facts inform our why. If our why has to do with absolutely nothing in particular or is built upon fantasy, then it really doesn't have any weight to it. But facts, along with my why, will allow me to actually produce something I want. So what I need people to understand is that when you're trying to make money, first of all, when we're talking about that why, our why is not the end all, just own crypto. If your why is to own crypto, then that's a broken why.
Yep.
Your why should go deeper than that. But what happens is a lot of people just hear the fad of crypto. They hear from friends, they hear from news sites, and they end up just following this flow of people.
Yep.
Right? Operating like fish. Fish swim in schools, and a lot of times schools will swim right into the mouth of the whale, and they'll all be eaten. But it's because they just do what every other fish is doing. Facts, though, will tell me when the flow is going the right direction and when the flow is going the wrong direction. Okay? So while I want to be aware of what is happening, I want to follow and understand what is happening with everybody else, what is happening in the news, what is happening in the fundamentals. I want to know the facts, and I want to decide that for myself so that my why does not get decided by somebody else, because my why is my direction. But if I'm just following somebody else's why and I'm not listening to the facts, I could be swimming into destruction, not into success.
So here's your analogy, guys, and this is something that we haven't actually planned. This just came to mind. Your why, the reason you do what you do, the reason you get out of bed every morning, that's the gasoline that goes in the fuel tank. Bottom line. Without gas, your car's not going to go anywhere. But if you don't have a car, you're not going to go anywhere either, right? That's what this book is sitting on my table for. This right here is called The Bitcoin Standard by Safadine Amos. I want you to read this book right here called Start With Why by Simon Sinek to figure out why you do what you do. But I also want you to read this book right here called The Bitcoin Standard by Safadine Amos. You guys have ever heard me talk about agri-beads and about hyperinflationary events? I've talked about the fungibility of Bitcoin. I've talked about all of these concepts. You're going to find a lot in this book right here. So our first point is you need to understand why you do what you do. That's the fuel that goes in the gas tank of your car. What is the car? The car is your knowledge about cryptocurrency, your knowledge of technical and fundamental analysis, your understanding of what's going on in the market. So someone was like, oh, you guys are being life coaches. Well, yeah, a little bit, because that's how you become successful. You want to be successful, right? Your why is the gas that fuels that car. The what, the understanding how the market actually works. You'll learn about it in this book and many others. You can watch CT2A where we teach technical analysis. That's part of that car. Technical analysis is the rims of the wheels, and the fundamental analysis is the windshield. However you want to expand the analogy, you go for it. So when you're doing research on something, ask what is going on here. That's a surface level question. What is Tesla doing? Tesla's buying Bitcoin. Why is Tesla buying Bitcoin? That is a much deeper question. And that's what I answered earlier. I'm not going to reiterate too much on this because I've already said it. But the reason that Tesla's buying Bitcoin is because Tesla believes using technological innovations can change the world. What is Bitcoin? It is a community based on the fundamental belief that technological innovations can change the world. There you go. That's why Tesla's buying Bitcoin. What is Tesla? A car manufacturer that loves technology and making the world green. Why do they do it? Because of that. So, first point, figure out why you do what you do. Second point, figure out what it is that you're doing. Learn about cryptocurrency. And that leads us into our third point.
What I want to say,
Never mind. Go ahead.
I just want to clarify, because what you're saying, I want to make sure you guys understand exactly what Jebb is saying.
Yeah.
What is your why outside of crypto? That's your first step. Once you know your why outside of crypto, now if you're going to use crypto to accomplish that why as a tool, find out what it is, find out what the coins are, and then don't stop at what they are and how they operate. Now ask why. Just what he said. So your why in life impacts your what in crypto, that impacts your why in crypto, which leads back to your why in life.
Abso-freaking-lutely, guys. That's exactly what I'm saying. So why, what, here's the next step. So you got why you do it. You got what it is. You understand why you get out of bed in the morning. You understand what cryptocurrency is and how cryptocurrency can help you achieve the reason you get out of bed in the morning. If you want to change your life and you love crypto, crypto is going to teach you how to change the world or your life, whatever. The what informs how you figure out the why. Here's the third part of the analogy. So we've got the gas in the car. We've got the car. Now we need a destination. And that's the third point, is delayed gratification. When we're talking about delayed gratification, we talk about, so everything you do in life is decisions. You have a decision, either I can, and Tim, I'm going to let you expand on this analogy, but I'll just go ahead and introduce it. Either I can set out my clothes, prepare my meals for tomorrow, already have all the food for the dog out. I can prepare, I can plan out my day tomorrow, and I can get ready, and I can make a long-term play. I'm going to decide, okay, I'm going to plan for tomorrow and be very happy that I did, or I can just go to sleep and say, I'll figure it out tomorrow. Delayed gratification is planning for the future by sacrificing the now. What that falls into with the analogy, when you get in that car, you have gas, that's the why. The car is the what. The destination, where you are going to, is delayed gratification. Because if you're going to get in a car and you're going to drive for 10 hours, everybody likes going on an hour drive and listening to music and bopping their head, right? But nobody's going to drive 10 hours for no reason. You got to figure out where you're going. That's part of the why. So delayed gratification is understanding, hey, it's going to take me 12 hours to get to Washington, D.C., or it's going to take me 12 hours to get to Arizona, or it's going to take me 12 hours to get to Beijing. Delayed gratification is making decisions today to drive on the interstate, which is boring, and not taking back roads, which is interesting, because you want to get to the destination faster. So, Tim, can you give a little bit of an analogy to help explain the concept of delayed gratification and tie it back into how we use it in Bitcoin?
Well, I would say the first thought is nobody in the history of mankind has woken up having planned their day the day before and complained about it. Nobody ever wakes up and says, dang it, I already did everything. I know exactly what I'm doing today. The amount of times people have woken up in the morning having not planned the day before, and they have to get their food ready, and they have to get dressed, and they have to make decision after decision after decision after decision. Those are the people that complain. If you look at the most successful people in this world in every industry, whether you're looking at business, whether you're looking at sports, whether you're looking at anything, the successful ones know that the less decisions I have to make because I've pre-made them, the more I'm opening myself up to be successful. So at the end of the day, the real point there is you will never regret having made the decision for the future and planning out your future. You will never regret that thinking ahead. And when you relate this to Bitcoin, when we relate this to crypto, a lot of times when people are getting into trading, they see the ability to make money in the crypto space. What they don't think through is the future. So things like taxes, like strategies for trading, whether, what price am I getting in at? What price is I'm getting out at? When it comes to hodling, is my plan to hodl for years to pay for my kids' college tuition? Is my plan to hodl until this coin makes it to this certain dollar amount, and then I'm going to get out and take my profits? Most people are flying by the seat of their pants, and what happens is this looks a lot like some people that maybe go to Vegas, and what they do is they take, I don't know, let's say $20,000, right? And they turn that $20,000, they actually have a pretty good lucky streak, and they turn it into $100,000. The smart thing would have been to go to Vegas with a plan of, I'm going to turn this 20 into 100, and when I hit 100, I'm walking away. But what happens a lot of times, because there was no plan put forth beforehand, is they turn that $100 like, oh, I'm doing pretty good at this. Let me see if I can turn 100 into 200, and then they lose everything because they did not plan. And something you guys need to remember is a failure to plan ahead is a plan to fail ahead. So that is super important that you do not only take into account instant gratification. When it comes to your taxes, make sure you know what's going to happen with your taxes when it comes to trading, holding, and make sure you're aware, because that would just suck so bad to make a lot of money on crypto and then go to fill out your taxes and turn out you got to give it all to the government. I don't want to do that, and I don't want you to do that. So plan right ahead, and you will never regret. When you go to that day, you will not regret having that plan ahead of time.
So let me give you a practical example, guys. Here is how you take this concept of delayed gratification and you use it. I'm going to show you the chart real quick, and I'm going to show you a trade setup on Bitcoin. What I want you to do is whenever you're working in Bitcoin, I don't want you just saying, I'm going to enter a trade. Boom, I'm in the trade, and then I'm just going to write it out. Okay, no. Okay, yeah, sold. I sold. Okay, great. Oh, no, it's keep going up. I don't want you to just jump in a trade and be like, okay, I'm just going to wing it. Winging it is instant gratification. It's saying, I don't feel like spending 5 minutes planning this trade. Delayed gratification looks like I'm going to spend 5 minutes planning my trade, and because I'm going to spend 5 minutes planning my trade, I'm going to know where I'm going to get out. I'm going to know what I'm going to get in. I'm going to use statistical analysis to figure out where exactly I should be entering. I'm going to figure out my risk-to-reward ratio. I'm going to do all of this prep work so that my trade is more likely to be successful, and that takes discipline. So let me show you guys. Let's say I enter a trade at $58,800. Great entry. I'm about to show you a trade setup from there. It's not about the entry price. And let's say, okay, Bitcoin rallies. Okay, I'm going to sell right here. That's great. But what if you sold too late or too early and you made a big mistake and you didn't know what you were doing and you had no information going in? Put it this way. Let me take it to an extreme to make a point. Would you send men into the battlefield where people could get very badly hurt without a plan? No, you wouldn't, because you care about those people. You want them to be successful. So in the same way, why would you go into a trade without a plan? Are you just accepting, oh, it could go sideways? No, you don't want to just accept it could go sideways. You want to do the prep work to make sure that doesn't happen, because we all agree that we want to make money trading, right? So here's what we do. Here's what instant gratification looks like in the practical sense. I'm going to set up a trade entry. I'm going to enter Bitcoin around 58,800. By the way, this is theoretical, but I'm actually showing you a potential trade setup. You can use a trade setup similar to what I'm going to show you. This is based on real technical analysis. This is not just theory. There is a good entry price on Bitcoin around $58,800. Reason being, we have a level of resistance sitting at $58,400. If we break bullish above that with all the fundamentals and we see strong volume, we'll probably rally much higher. We could put a stop loss down here around $58,200. Price target, I would put this back up at all-time high, because if Bitcoin breaks this level, just under 59,000, we're probably going back to all-time high, which I'll go ahead and draw right here. So what that means is, because we planned, we now know going into the trade, I'm going to enter at $58,800. If it falls down, my stop loss, I'm going to stop myself out at $58,200. If it rallies to $61,700, I'm going to exit. That's my plan. I'm going to stick with it. Delayed gratification looks like taking the extra 5 minutes, making the plan. Delayed gratification looks like, even though I want to play video games before I go to bed, I'm going to lay out my clothes. I'm going to pre-make my lunch tomorrow so that I have a good day tomorrow, sacrificing the now for the future. I want you to sacrifice 5 minutes before you go into a trade, before you go into an investment, and plan it. Before you make a trade, spend time planning that trade. Before you make an investment, spend time researching what the investment is. That's why I am such a big component of readers. That's why I'm such a big proponent of reading. I got ahead of myself. Is because when you invest in your future, things compound. That's why we put money into Bitcoin, right? We sacrifice the money that we could go and buy Adidas with, or that we could go and buy a Lambo with, and we put it in Bitcoin because we think it's going to grow. In the same way, I'm encouraging you to invest in yourself. And to do so, at the essence of that is the idea of delayed gratification. So guys, don't make decisions based on what you are going to like today. Make decisions based on what is going to bring you riches in the future. That's why education is so important. Our fourth and final point before we jump on to some 2-minute technicals on Theta and VeChain are going to be the two cryptos we do TA on here in a second, is that passion is fuel, but if you don't contain it, things can get out of hand. Tim, I'm going to let you run with this because this is really your point. This will be the final point, and then we're going to move on to the next segment. Go for it.
No, absolutely. Those who have been a fan of this show for a long time, I think the reason you're a fan is because you have seen day in and day out the passion that Jebb has. And this whole video was particularly about find your why so that your passion actually funnels into something. But what we need to make sure you understand is that your passion is like fuel. And if it is contained, can take you sky high. If you're in a plane, it will take you to 25,000 square feet. If you're in a car, it will take you that 25,000 miles. If it is not contained, it is extremely dangerous, right? If it is not contained, it lights on fire and explodes. So the why you must create is your passion, but then the what and the why your what is so important in whatever field you're using, whether it is in crypto or whether it is in stocks or whether it is in your business or whether it is in your school, your what and your why are how you contain your passion to utilize it to get you where you want to go and not let it run rampant and actually cause you to explode.
Yeah, and guys, the takeaway from that is you've heard of people talking about FUDing and FOMOing. What FUD and FOMO is the fear of missing out. That's when the market is blowing up and you're like, oh, I want to go and jump in on that. FUDing is like, oh gosh, the market's crashing, I'm going to get out of that. That's emotion. So I want to be very clear when we talk about Start With Why. This is a fantastic book. In fact, this is probably the most influential book you will ever read. It takes 6 hours to read a book. I guarantee you can find 6 hours to read a book that'll change your life. Give me an amen in the chat on that one. Passion is rocket fuel. The problem is that if rocket fuel is not contained and funneled correctly through the engine and set on fire just right, what happens to the rocket? It blows up. Turns into a firework and it blows out and it's done. Here's the takeaway. I want you to be passionate. I want you to be invigorated. I want you to be fired up about cryptocurrency. How do you become passionate? Because you understand why you do what you do. That's why that question is so important. So tying it all together, let's put a nice, neat bow on this. First of all, you figure out why you do what you do. That is going to be where your passion comes from. That passion is going to help you to want to invest in yourself through delayed gratification, to invest in your future by educating yourself. It's also going to cause you to invest in your crystalline knowledge of the space. That's understanding what is shorting, what are options contracts, what is TradingView, how does TradingView work. All of that stuff we are here to teach, and we're going to start teaching a lot more about that stuff. So if you want to see videos on what shorting is, how do crypto taxes work, we're going to be doing a ton of that on this channel. We're going to be doing even more of that than we ever have been before. That's why we offer CT2A. So again, let me run through it. You figure out why you get out of bed every morning. This book will help you with that. When you figure out why you get out of bed every morning, you become passionate. Once you become passionate, you say, man, I want to do whatever it takes to become successful because I care about the reason I get out of bed every morning. In doing so, you will realize the value of education, and thus, you will embrace the concept of delayed gratification and start investing in your future. Even if you hate reading, you will do it because you want to fulfill your destiny. You want to fulfill the reason you get out of bed. But we caution you with our final point. Be very careful with that passion because wisdom is tempering different concepts to where they need to be. Rocket fuel is a massively explosive thing. It is only useful when it is directed. So become incredibly passionate, but make sure it has direction. Do not let that gasoline get on the outside of your car and watch the whole car blow up. Keep it in the engine where it belongs. Keep that rocket fuel where it belongs. Keep that jet fuel where it belongs. The car, the rocket, and the plane will not move without the rocket fuel or the jet fuel or the gasoline, but be very careful if you let it get away from you because it will destroy you. That is our point with emotion. It's incredibly powerful, but have wisdom around how you use it. Tim?
I agree. That's so good. That's so good. You know, that being said, that whole segment, we're about to move into some 2-minute technicals. I know some of you guys have been looking for TA. TA is a bit, and it is an important tool, but it's simply another tool in your chest to learn. Again, as we said before, the purpose of this channel, if you're new to this channel, or if you've been around, the purpose of this channel, Jebb's passion is to help inform, to set people up for success. We are using the crypto space and the crypto educational platform to do it. That is our business. That is what we are about. However, our passion is that you guys be educated and be set up for success, specifically in crypto, but in everything else you do in life. So what we've just covered is a lot of helping you set up your why. We even want you to take some time after this video is over, go write it down. What is your passion? What is your why? What gets you up every day, and what caused you to examine crypto in the first place? After you've written that down, now start doing the research on the what, and then ask yourself why that what is so important. So we're going to jump into 2-minute technicals. We've talked a little bit about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. So what we're going to do, actually, instead of doing technicals on that, you can do that for yourself. And if you're not sure how to do that, purchase that CT2A because it's going to be phenomenal. What we are going to look at is 2 coins. One we examined yesterday, but it is continuing to blow off. And for those who are wondering, this is a coin that we have, as a company, are becoming very, very interested in, very bullish on, have a little more research to do on a fundamental side of it. But Theta has been ripping it the last couple of days. They just grew to, I think, the 9th coin on CoinMarketCap.
Yep.
So the first thing we're going to do is our 2-minute technical on Theta, and then we're going to follow that up with VeChain, and if we still have time left over, we will allow you guys to help us select a 3rd coin.
Good deal, guys. So let's go ahead and jump on to Theta because Theta is up 12% in the last 24 hours. We're going to start over on CoinMarketCap. Theta is trading at $13.13 right now. Kind of spooky. We're up at 91% in the last 7 days, outperforming every single other top 10 cryptocurrency. Speaking of which, Theta has outperformed itself because it just jumped into the top 10 for the very first time. I believe we actually spoke about Theta either yesterday or the day before, but now we're going to talk about it again because Theta has absolutely moonshot in the last couple of months, guys. Ever since August of last year, Theta is up 6,000% in less than 250 days. Guys, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what my opinion is on this right now because I've said this in the last stream. Theta right now is in something called price discovery mode. You need to wait for this project to come out of price discovery mode before you start relying too heavily on the technicals. I'm going to show you the technicals, but this is the point and this is the takeaway. When a cryptocurrency is very young, it is trying to figure out who it wants to be. It's trying to figure out if it wants to be a $10 coin or a $100 coin or a $1,000 coin. And it takes time for that coin to figure out who it wants to be. Isn't that what we do for the first 25, 30, maybe 80 years of our lives, is figuring out who we really are? That's what Theta is doing right now. Theta is somewhere in middle school trying to figure out, okay, am I a scientist? Am I a biologist? Am I a race car driver? Theta doesn't really know. Theta's trying to figure out what price do I want to trade at. And because of that, that is something we need to take into consideration with our technical analysis, is that Theta has had this massive explosion. Why do we see Bitcoin not going up 6,000% in 200 days like it used to? Because Bitcoin used to be in price discovery phase. It's become a lot more stable recently. You might think, Jebb, Bitcoin moves 5-10% a day. How is that stable? Compared to 5 years ago, it is very stable. Theta is where Bitcoin was 5 years ago, trying to figure out what it was actually valued at. So Theta, when it is in this massive rally, is doing just that. As far as the technicals are concerned, though, guys, the TD sequential is very much overextended. We reached overextended right here. We reset, and depending on which Theta chart you look at, we never actually reset right here. But nevertheless, whether we did or not, Theta has reached 9 on the TD sequential. Again, we had a level of resistance at $12 yesterday, which was really just the all-time high. It wasn't very much resistance, as it was just where we had gone to so far. That is now support. I'm actually going to get rid of that line because it's not terribly useful. Looking at the MACD and the RSI, we can see that RSI is sitting up around 90.5. RSI is hugely overextended. RSI is so very high right now, and again, the reason is price discovery mode. Normally, wouldn't RSI sitting up at 86 cause a massive drop on a cryptocurrency? Wouldn't RSI sitting at 90 cause a massive drop on the cryptocurrency? You might be inclined to think, oh my gosh, RSI is useless. No, it's not that RSI is useless. It's that you need to come into technical analysis with the correct expectations. We cannot expect a mathematical equation like RSI to be as accurate as it possibly could be when there's external factors like theta being in price discovery mode. Looking at MACD, we can see that MACD has had a huge rally and is basically useless right now, again, because of what I just said. As far as what theta is doing, on the 4-hourly chart, it looks like it is trying to have a little bit of a correction right now. We've seen a few of these in recent memory. We saw one right here and here and here. The question I have now is, does this little correction that we've seen over the last 8 hours on theta turn into something larger? And quite frankly, guys, I don't have enough information to make that call. I have a feeling theta is going to keep going for a little while, but I think sometime in the next 14 to 30 days, it is going to have a big correction. I'm talking like 30 or 40%. We saw the same thing happen on Cardano not too long ago. Cardano rallied all the way to $1.50. What did it do after that? Pulled back 35% in 2 weeks. Theta very well may do the exact same thing once it finally figures out what it is valued at. Let's put it like this. Say you have a rubber band, right? You pull the rubber band back and you let it go. What is it going to do? It's going to bounce one way, the other way, 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 and eventually it'll reach equilibrium right in the middle. But it's going to overcorrect, 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 overcorrect. There's big corrections, then smaller, then smaller, then smaller, then smaller, then smaller, right? That's what theta is doing right now. We just let it go and it started exploding. Overcorrection, it's overextended to the upside. Then it's going to overcorrect back. It's going to overcorrect back and back and back and back and back. And eventually, theta, like Bitcoin in the stock market, will become less volatile when the market really understands what theta should be valued at. That's my technical analysis on theta. What are your thoughts on that, Tim?
That sounds great. Like I said, we're still doing a whole heck of a lot of research on that. Some people have been asked in chat, they were talking about, are you guys growing in your fundamental analysis? Are you growing your research? We literally are developing a team of people doing that research, that expertise. So definitely be looking out for that. I had my research guy this morning send me a text with the information. I don't know if it's super helpful. At the end of the day, what he's seeing, I believe he said in theta, was a massive appeal to the video market. And so I don't even want to, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's actually pretty detailed. What he said is, especially with the way we are moving, the fundamentals on this coin are very exciting, Like I said, so we potentially will make an entire video describing for you guys the details of the what and the why theta are so good. But at this point, because this channel is so much educational, and we will from time to time talk about speculation, I don't want to say too much speculatively and lead you guys the wrong way. I want to be able to set you guys up to be able to know for yourself this is a great coin.
Absolutely. So that's a great point, guys. We can do more videos on theta in the future. We are definitely looking forward to doing that. We're going to go ahead and move on to some technical analysis on VET, VeChain. A lot of you guys are really excited about VET because we've heard you talk about it quite a bit. Drop a 1 in chat if you love VeChain, and let's go ahead and do it. Going to swap on over to CoinMarketCap, and we will start there. If we go ahead and type in VET, we can see that VeChain VET is trading right around rank number 18. It's trading around 9 cents, and it's had a massive rally over the last several months. Ever since November, it has rallied almost 10x. And if we jump on over to its chart, we can see that I've already done a little bit of technical analysis on it. And the thing about VeChain is that unlike theta, VeChain has really established some trends. Remember, guys, technical analysis is the art, not the science. It's the art of doing pattern analysis and extrapolation based on those patterns. What that means in English is that you're looking at patterns that have played out in the past and you're saying, hey, how will this pattern play out in the future? That's what VeChain is doing, is it now has some patterns established. You can see that we have a very consistent uptrending level of resistance on VeChain. Right here we have a resistance touch right around a 1 cent, 1.8 cents back in late November. Then we have a touch right here in early January of around, let's see, just about 3 cents. Here in mid-February, around Valentine's Day, it set resistance at around 5 cents. By the way, this is on the log chart. If you're on the linear chart, it's not going to look like this. So make sure you're on the log chart. That's where this pattern shows up. It's important that you look at both of them because you will see patterns on one and not the other sometimes. If you'd like to learn more about that, we do have an academy that teaches all about it. We also see that VeChain is against its resistance right now. Even all the way up to today, VeChain is sitting just under 10 cents, which is turning into a new resistance level. We can also see that it has an uptrending level of support right here. Very clearly defined, guys. This is a beautiful chart. I will tell you what, right now, if VeChain wants to continue this rally, it is going to need some major, And I mean major hype and fundamental development pushing it, because this market is overextended categorically. And unlike Theta, Theta is in massive blow-off top price discovery mode, so you don't want to do too much. You don't want to pay too much attention to the RSI and say, oh, Theta's overextended. Duh, it's overextended. That's the point. It's going to come down. You got to have time. You have to be patient. Right now, VeChain has been around for a lot longer. It is in price discovery mode too, but not to the same extent. If we're pulling that rubber band back on VeChain, the rubber band got pulled back a centimeter. On Theta, it got pulled back 10 centimeters. So there's a lot more price fluctuation on Theta than there is on VeChain right now. So we can trust its technicals a little bit more. Looking at its technicals, we can see that based on TD sequential, it has been overextended since early March, and it has been staying overextended all the way up through and until today. One thing to keep in mind is that we do have a bullish engulfing candlestick right now. That is actually a very bullish sign for VeChain, and if it manages to continue an uptrend, that, my friends, would be why. So do keep that in mind. I would encourage you, however, to look at this. The MACD is very bullish, but eventually it is going to have to come down. We're sitting way up here, and it does need some form of a correction. Looking at RSI, we can see RSI isn't crazy high, but it is starting to get into overextended territory. We've seen some small corrections recently. We need to see a correction on VeChain. What does the pattern on VeChain show? We rally up to this resistance, then we pull back down to the support. Resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. What comes next? Say it with me. Support. VeChain needs to come down to around $7 to $8, depending on where it does that in time, and it needs to come down and test this support trend line, or at least come down and test some previous highs, such as 6 cents, which was an all-time high and resistance level for a while. And by the way, it could also come down and test the 20 daily EMA, which is sitting around 7.5 cents right now. Does this mean that VeChain's a bad product? No. I don't know a ton about VeChain, but what I do know, I think it is a good project. Technically speaking, however, it does need to have a correction, so I'd be looking out for that in the next 7 days or so. That's my take on VeChain. What are your thoughts on that, Tim? What is chat saying about VeChain?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to make sense of it. That's Smay. You can chime in if you understand. People are talking about Walmart Vet. I think that's another coin. People are asking for Harmony One. I don't know if they're actually really saying that much about VeChain.
Okay.
Do you agree with that, Smay?
Yeah, I would say we could go ahead and do some TA on Harmony One.
Well, hang on. Before we do that, let's just recap really quickly. What's the big takeaway from this show, guys? I want you two to kind of reiterate it for people, because look, guys, we've talked about a lot of theory in today's video, and I don't want to just leave you with, oh, that was cool. Philosophy is useless without application. So since we have a little bit of extra time here, I think we talked about Harmony yesterday anyway. We can talk about Harmony in tomorrow's live stream also. Let's try and give people some concrete tips that you can walk away with. Number one, here's some homework for you. Go buy both of these books literally right now, like on your other tab. Go open Amazon, buy both of these books, and read them. You will thank me, I promise you. What are some other practical tips people can take away from all this, Tim?
Yeah, no, so in the earlier portion, we talked about what is your why outside of crypto. And then we talked about if you're going to get into crypto, crypto is a tool to accomplish your passion, your why. So now you need to know what and you need to know why. What we're answering right here with the technical analysis, we just talked about what today's technical analysis looks like on Theta, and we looked at what it was on VeChain. And these were great examples of what. So if people have a passion to accomplish, to solve poverty, to, even maybe their own poverty, or to solve a world crisis, if they want to use crypto to do it, they need to know information like that technical analysis. Here's the only thing that we need to evaluate is that as great as this is, unless they check in daily, which is very hard for some people to do, all this helps them with is the technical analysis for today, but what's going to help them for tomorrow, right? That's what we're really about. That's what this intro was all about, is that you don't want to just check in and hear someone else's information. Even if that information is 100% true, which I think the technical analysis you just broke down was phenomenal. However, it only solves the problem for right now, maybe the next couple of days. But the why, asking why that what is so important, would be doing my own research, going and learning how to do my own technical analysis so that I can do that day in and day out. And what I do is just check back in with people like you, Jebb, or other people who know technical analysis to make sure I'm still headed in the right direction. So the takeaway from this show is this is great. This is like if we just went fishing for you and brought you a fish.
Yeah, that's a great analogy, guys.
This is not like to set you up to fish for yourself is why we offer our core CT2A.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic analogy. There's a takeaway for you guys. When you go and you get technical analysis from someone else, what you just did is you just said, hey, you, Go catch me a fish. We're trying to teach you how to actually hold a pole. We're trying to teach you how to reel that back and throw it. We're trying to teach you how to, drive a boat. I don't care. But point is, we're trying to teach you how to fish. Making that reel for you. I'm trying to teach you how to get into your truck, go down to the creek, get a fishing pole out, put a worm on the hook, and get yourself your own freaking fish. I don't want you going and getting a fish from someone else. I want you, following the metaphor, to know how to go and fish for yourself. Because what happens if the guy that's bringing you fish decides he got something better to do with his life? You're all out of fish. You're SOF, I guess. Short out of fish. You don't want to be short out of fish. You want to have fish for the rest of your life, don't you? You want to have money. You want to have Lambos. You want to have the girls. You want to have whatever it is that you want. You want to have a higher purpose. You want to change the world. You want to make people feel better about themselves. You want to help people. Figure out what your why is. Why are you here? Then figure out what it is that you're doing. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. That's the name of this book. The Bitcoin Standard by Safadian Amos. This is a book that will teach you Bitcoin, the what. What do we do here? We talk about trading Bitcoin. We talk about investing in Bitcoin. We talk about fundamentals. We talk about news. We talk about technical analysis. Why do we do it? Because I believe that if you truly become passionate about growing, if you truly become passionate about educating yourself, you, my friend, one person can change the world. I don't care where you come from. If you invest in yourself, I know, I'm speaking to the person here that doesn't think they can do it. I know that you can, because I've seen people do it before. I've seen people change the entire face of the planet because they believed that if they just invested in themselves, they could change the world in any way that they wanted. And that, my friends, is the point of this video. That's the takeaway. Don't let someone else fish for you. Go do it, you dang self, you lazy prick. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, and just fun a pro tip for you guys: if you don't have a nice body of water, a really good looking one near you guys, you can actually, there are really great VR fishing games. So I've been
purchase on Theta.
I've been trying them on. They're very great. They're very great.
There you
guys.
go.
So,
no, Smate, tell us a little bit about the VR headset you bought with your with your stimmy.
Yeah. Okay.
How's
So
that going?
first of all, I spent like about less than 10% of my stimulus check on a VR headset. So just to put that out there,
It's just lives matter.
I did not go and blow all my money and not invest. I've obviously invested in them, being relatively wise, but I had to treat myself.
Yeah.
But man, I've been enjoying the crap out of that thing, man.
That's awesome.
Like I've been literally I got to talk to Darth Vader, and Darth Vader gave me a mission, and I went and now I'm blocking blasters, laser stuff. Now I can go fishing. All in my backyard, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's amazing. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about,
no, that's
but it's great.
So to wrap this out, because we're about to close out the stream with our predictions. But if you guys like this video a lot, if you like the content, and if you guys have been watching for a while, you've noticed we're kind of shifting more into the educational side of this. We're still going to cover technical analysis. We still want to talk about fundamental analysis. But overall, our main goal is to help you become educated. If you do, first of all, hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed also so that you're tuning in every single day. Make sure you do that. If you want to support us and you haven't found a good trading platform to use yet, you can sign up for Bybit down below. We have an affiliate link. And what we recommend to people is using that if you're outside of the United States. If you're inside, we will potentially make a whole video explaining why, but there's a lot of hurdles and hoops and headaches. And what we talked about earlier today is make sure you're planning ahead. Don't just reach for instant gratification. We recommend that people inside the United States use things like Coinbase Pro or Binance US, or ultimately use what you're able to use and you're comfortable using. But that being said, if you want to support us, you can do it in those three ways. Also, bring your friends in for next time, and let's grow this community of education, allowing crypto to actually change lives. So that being said, we are going to finish the stream out by predicting tomorrow's ADA price. So if you have your predictions, you can go ahead and post those in the comments, but we are going to make our own predictions. So just to give everybody a little bit of room, did we looked at the opinions of ADA. We didn't really break down the full technical analysis, correct?
Yes, we didn't.
We're sitting at 116 at the moment on ADA.
116.
All right, and Zach's going to be coming in to give his here in just a bit. But I want you guys to take a second, write it down. Like I said, in comments, go ahead and tell us what you think ADA is going to be at tomorrow. And again, this is not supposed to be informing you on what trade to actually make. This is supposed to be a game for us to predict where everything is going.
Definitely not Hi Zach, who is moderating the
What
chat.
the
Just
world?
brought in a prediction of
What
where he
the
thinks is going.
world?
Shout out to Zach for keeping the chat clean. Thank you guys so much. You guys can see that I am looking at the chart a little bit while they're discussing.
So let's go ahead and do you guys have your predictions?
I'm actually looking at the chart right now too.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I already have my prediction, I already got it.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, I got mine.
Ooh. I'm gonna make a little bit of a gamble here. I think something might be about to happen. Ooh. Okay.
Well, if you're gonna make gambles.
I'm making a little bit of a gamble today, guys. You seeing what I'm seeing on this chart? Everybody's watching the screen, I think, knows what I'm getting at. Look at this. Okay. If I'm right, I will explain all of it in tomorrow's video. How about that?
Go for it.
Guys, I think... Gosh, okay, I see the breakout coming. Let's see what the price target is. You guys go real quick. Give me 1 second. No, I take it back.
Go ahead.
Cardano's going to $1.24.
Wow.
You goober.
I love it.
Goober.
I love it.
Mine was 123. You goober. Oh my gosh. All right, Tim, quickly. What
Well,
are you thinking?
first of all,
What are your
Zach's
thoughts?
is at 106, so Zach is a massive pessimist.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
He is expecting a massive drop. Although, also, we're going to start instituting, if you are way off on your predictions, we're going to start instituting a 1-day suspension.
You're suspended. I love that. That's great.
So here's the thing. So Jebb is at 124 and Smay is at 123. This is breaking news because Tim, the voice of the people,
Oh, my gosh.
I don't even know if I'm on my own team today. I might have to secede my presidency for the day because I say 119.
Really?
I say 119.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I also think it's about to spike, but I don't know. That's a massive jump, and usually I'm the one making massive jumps. So maybe I'm a little
For
broken
today only, I am the voice of the people. I am.
He wants you to win money, and like I said, I'm okay with that. But here's the thing: this is just a blip on the radar. Ultimately, Team Tim will always and forever be about your best interest. But I also want to be correct, and I think 119 is realistic. I think that 119, 118, 120 range is where we're gonna go. But to be fair, I would love for it to go to 124. 123 I'd be satisfied with as well, Smay. Changing up a little bit. Usually you're pessimistic, now you're optimistic. So
I just went with my gut.
Yep.
Well, guys, I hope you did enjoy today's live stream. Like Tim said, if you did enjoy today's stream, consider hitting that like button. It really helps out the channel when you do that. And also subscribe to the channel if you want to join our mission. Our passion, our vision here is to teach people the importance of education and show them that no matter what you believe that you are capable of doing in cryptocurrency, it can come true if only you will do one thing, and that is to focus on investing in yourself. Guys, consider joining the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. To do that, the link's in the description box down below. That's the academy that we offer that has 3,500 students in it that love every minute of it. That's going to wrap it out for today's video, guys. Before we go, though, I will see... excuse me. Let's try that again. Before I go, though, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.